Should have made that coffee first. Slacking on my macking. I'm gonna make me that coffee right now. Give me a second. Matter of fact, let me finish what I have to finish here, and then I'll make that coffee. And I will be right back. Gotta make that coffee so I could stay up for the stream. All right, let me let the city chat know that we are live. Yes, we are live. We are live. Let's see. Wagwan, Fear God. One of the first people who are always here. Salute to you, Fear God. I appreciate you. I think it's time to get some of these fairly newer folks some mods, nah? Let me get y'all right, because y'all heavy supporting, and I truly appreciate that. I think y'all should stand out in these streams. So let me see if I could get y'all right. Give me 1 second. Oh, come on. I'll get to the chat in just a second. Give me 1 second, y'all. Some of these. All right, that's that. Officially, definitely getting a mod. Appreciate all your input and everything, or all the support that you provide here on this on these live streams. Officially, YMZ. Welcome to the mod gang. Let's go down the list. Jay White, what up, man? Joshua in the building. Cody Creel. The mailman's up in here. What up? Lamont Hooper. Hoax in the building. What up, Hoax? Matter of fact, I'm looking at the wrong chat. Tripping. Coach Z up in here. Let's see who else up in here. Sean should probably get one too. Sean's been here coming through regularly. Big Hex up in here. What up, Big Heck? Oh, we got a lot to talk about. You guys are going to be surprised. I think you guys are in for a rude awakening. The good homie, All City Big Heck, just shared some information with me, which I'm going to share with you guys on today's live stream. We're going to make a video about it tomorrow. What up, Tumchi? What up, Will Fuego? Kevin Green up in here, Ray the Barber. What it is? Welcome to the mod team. Midnight Howler. What up, Midnight Howler? What's going on, man? Appreciate you being a member. Stephen Jones. Hey, I appreciate you officially. OG in the building. Word up. Thanks for all the support. I think Sean needs one too. Let's see if we get Sean one too. Sean is still fairly new to commenting. I need somebody else to comment so his name could go up and I could hit these 3 dots. Because I can't do it yet. Wagwan, Quincy. What up, Quincy? Come on, because this thing, there we go. Can I get somebody, like, I'm unable to get it to Sean right now because I can't. There we go. All right, as a moderator, standard, save. Sean, new member of the mod gang. Flex cool. There it is. Salute to y'all, man. As we go along and I see more regular members, I'll definitely add more mods. Appreciate y'all being here, man. You already know the vibes. So there's some huge news, and this is going to be what's spreading over the next week or so, maybe over the next couple of days, I should say. This is what's going to be taking up a lot of the content. I've reported, don't mess with Texas in the building. What up, bro? I am false and shalom to all. Appreciate you. Truly go to gaming. Jay Anderson up in here. Don't mess with Texas. Said, what's the word, City? All right, so what the word is that 2K is rolling out new terms of service. And this is supposed to drop February 28th, so by the end of the month. But there's already speculation. Maybe there's something that have been leaked or something along those lines. There's speculation that basically says, and let me pull up the image before so you guys understand what we're talking about here, because you're like, what are you talking about? New terms of service. So we'll just pull it up. Hit OK there. Pull that up. Terms of service update. Our legal terms are changing on February 28th, 2024. You must accept our new terms in order to play after February 28th, 2024. That's just, man, that's crazy, man. But anyway, there's folks that are speculating. I appreciate that officially. There's folks that are speculating that these new terms of service, I reported it earlier, maybe about a month ago. I reported on a lawsuit that was pending against 2K. There was a kid I think it was in California, who played older versions of 2K, and he would invest his IRL money in those older versions. And 2K, as you guys know, they cut off the servers on those older versions. So I guess he went and he told his moms about it, and his moms was like, oh, hell nah, because his mom's is probably paying for the stuff, you know what I mean? So his mom's was like, oh, hell nah, and filed a class action lawsuit on 2K. And man, that must have rattled 2K heavy, because now they have a new terms of service agreement, and there's speculation that in those terms of service, they're going to have you guys accept before playing, because you cannot play without accepting these new terms. Speculation saying that you guys have to accept and pretty much promise that you're not going to sue 2K. Pure wildness. I said, if that's not the most wild thing ever. So you're pretty much accepting 2K. Yeah, go ahead and rob me, man. Like, we're supposed to accept the idea that they're cutting off these old servers, even though people are investing IRL money into these older games. Pure wildness. Appreciate you joining as a legend. Salute to Cody Creel. All City, do you want to remaster 2K16 Park? I was thinking of recreating one of them, but differently. That would be dope. I ain't gonna front. It would be dope, but considering the times and considering how we've evolved, I know everybody loves 2K16, and it'll definitely be super dope to see us playing on top of a skyscraper. So I would never try to persuade you not to do something like that. But one thing I know a lot of players would like to see, especially 2K players, is things like the Rucker part, or the cages, West 4th Street. That's where I grew up. They would love to see some IRL stuff that they could play on 2K. NBA Live has been the only one to do that. I think folks would really love to see something like that. I think they'd be super excited. Yeah, 2K bugging, D-Rich. I ain't gonna even front a little bit. I never read terms of service, but bet your arse I'll be reading these. I don't trust 2K. I don't want to agree to a slap in the face. Facts. It's getting grimy. We were talking earlier, and again, this is speculation. We don't exactly know what the terms of service are, what's going to be entailed in these new terms of service. But why? Why are we randomly getting new terms? What has transpired that caused 2K to create new terms of service? And if they're updating their terms of service, it's highly likely that it had something to do with either like some particular legal agreement. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. It feels like they should just honor their products, man. Like, I don't think it was necessary to create new terms of service if it is the case that they're pretty much making you guys accept the idea of not being able to sue 2K and letting them guys rob you blind. Or for that matter, you could put $100 into a game, an older version of 2K, and then they cut off the service, rendering that $100 completely gone, useless. Which is what happened with that kid, which is why he filed the lawsuit. So I'm curious to see what these terms of service have entailed in them. And definitely when February 28th gets here, we will be talking about it here. So y'all can rest assured that I will update you guys on what's going on with the new terms of service agreement. And I'm going to read it thoroughly, just like you guys. And if you guys don't care to read it thoroughly, just tune into the live stream on February 28th. And I'll be sure to keep you guys updated on what's in those new terms. 2K living bogus because you can't sue. I mean, they should never put themselves in a position to have to be sued. You get what I mean to say? That's legitimate business. You should never put yourself in that position. And it's a tough one for 2K because they want to cut the old. It's like they always trying to finesse. Call of Duty, you can get on some of the oldest games. 2K, come on, you trying to save money on them servers. You don't want to pay for them older servers. And instead, that'll actually increase the player base, and you'll be able to get a better idea of what the 2K community likes about your franchise to see which version of the game they play the most. But instead, in 2K's short-sighted view, they only want the sales for this current iteration of 2K, and they try to bring everybody, force everybody to play these new versions of 2K that a lot of people aren't feeling too happy about. They just aren't feeling too happy about it. So we'll see what they come up with, but I'll definitely keep you guys up to date. They said you must. Like, dang, yeah, right. That's how I feel too. James Williams, when I saw that it says you must, send me a Discord DM. All right, let me check it out. Give me a second. Okay. Oh man, y'all about to be scared. It's about to get scary. All right, I'll read it verbatim. I guess your use of services. All right, let's read it verbatim because I don't want you guys to sit here and watch me read this thing. I'll just speak it. The good homie All City Big Heck just sent this to me. This is from take2games.com. Your use of service includes the obligation and responsibility to help us ensure that our social and online gaming experiences are inclusive and respectful for all users and our employees and contractors. You must follow the rules in Section 6, including the code of conduct while using the services, virtual items, or your account. Under Section 15, it says mandatory arbitration. Now, this is where things get scary. Now, what they're basically saying, and just hearing the words mandatory arbitration, for those of you who may not know, what they're basically saying is you're no longer going to court. Everything's going to be settled out of court. And it says this agreement contains a mandatory arbitration clause and a waiver of class action and jury trial rights for all users residing. Oh my God, that is so disrespectful. Did any of this fly over anybody's head? Did you guys have the same reaction that I just had just reading that first portion? Man, yo, grimy. I'll read it again. Section 15, mandatory arbitration. This agreement contains a mandatory arbitration clause and a waiver of class action and jury trial rights for all users. You waive your rights for a class action lawsuit or a jury trial just by accepting these terms. Yo, this could hit the fan. This could really hit the fan. I don't know how to feel about this right now. I really don't know how I'm going to move forward with this, but we'll soon see. I might have to just stop this live stream and make a video about it right now. It says you waive the rights for a class action and jury trial rights for all users residing in the United States and any other territory other than Australia, Switzerland, the United Kingdom, or the territories of the European Economic Area. For covered users, unless you opt out via the process in Section 15, you will be bound by the arbitration agreement, which means that you and Take-Two will be requested to resolve any dispute subject to limited exceptions by final and binding individual arbitration. The arbitration clause waives your right to a jury trial and to participate in class action. So this means like this can't go into like a jury trial, and you can't get a lot of other people together to form a class action suit. People who are in agreement with you or people who have experienced the same things that you have experienced, which led to a lawsuit. You can't do that. You waive that right by accepting these terms. And you can't play 2K if you do not accept those terms. Oh man, scary stuff. Subject to limited exceptions by final and binding individual arbitration. The arbitration clause waives your right to a jury trial and to participate in class action, collective actions, and all other types of court proceedings. You acknowledge that you understand, and unless you validly opt out, expressly agree to the mandatory arbitration clause and class action jury trial waiver. I'm at a loss, B. Lord knows how many other games and other things that we've accepted in the terms of service have this exact same thing in it. I'm not even seeing the chat right now, but I know a lot of y'all mind blown. I'm mind blown myself. Woo! This shows 2K has no plans on making this better for us. It's just about making money. That's what Tumchi said. Virgo, I don't know how to take that, y'all. I don't know how to take that, B. I know I'm pissed inside. I'm upset inside because it's so slimy. It's so freaking like when you think 2K can't go any lower, they just rip the roof off and say we're diving all the way down that rabbit hole, man. You're gonna have to come meet us way down here just to play the game. Ooh-wee. Mars Blackman. Damn. By the way, definitely go check out All City Big Heck if you guys want to stay up to date on Twitter or X. If you guys refer to it as X, check out All City Big Heck at B1S. It's B1S, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's B1S. A lot of companies have added a mandatory arbitration clause to their TOS over the last few years. I'm with you. They shouldn't put themselves in a position to be sued. Exactly why there's my last one. Is this the first company who has done this? And if not, maybe the only one making it public, like a sneaky move on us. Yeah, they're not necessarily making it public. They just wanted to make sure that everybody understands they're going to get these new terms of service agreements on February 28th. And being that you're not going to be able to get on the game otherwise, you know, it's going to be something that's right in our face. Like as soon as you load up 2K, that's probably when you're going to see this option. Yeah, definitely a slap in the face. This isn't a standard practice in the industry because, like you said, you shouldn't have to do that if your game was good. Well, and it's not necessarily because you can't get sued because your game is bad. But when you start messing with folks' money, similar to having a server up and running, and if you're not giving the player base leeway to let enough leeway, just like they're going to give us a pop-up on our game to let us know that we're going to get a new terms of service, I could bet my bottom dollar that 2K was not letting anybody on the game. There was no pop-up to let them know that, you know, NBA 2K20 servers are going to shut down. You get what I mean to say? They will send out a tweet or something like that. And not everybody follows everything 2K has to say. Everybody doesn't follow that stuff. So I could bet my bottom dollar that they, in other words, let's say they're shutting down older versions of 2K. Let's go with 22. Let's say they shut that server down December 25th. The users should have been getting notices for that entire week prior or 2 weeks prior saying, hey, be aware that the servers are going to shut down so that you don't go spending another $100. And if you do, you are already aware. But some of these folks are spending the $100, and I imagine that happens to quite a few people probably the day before the servers were cut off, and that'll piss anybody off. I'm sure that'll get anybody upset. Crazy, wow stuff. 2K doing Birdman hand rubs. Oh, still swerving. Appreciate you being a member for 11 months. The voice of the people. We here, man. We here. Appreciate y'all being members, man. Salute to y'all. Man, that's how you know your product is trash, when you got to scoop that low. I feel like they don't have any plans on improving the game. D Rich, I'm right there with you, man. It's really an unfortunate time in 2K. Because if your product was up to par, this would be your last concern. I understand the lawsuit comes with shutting down those servers, but if it was us, I know we would think very differently. We'll say, okay, well, let's send them out a notice well in advance, a month leading up to the shutdown of the servers, so that every user on the older versions of 2K completely understand that they shouldn't spend money. Or maybe they should cut off the microtransactions a month prior, right? Wouldn't that make more sense? If you're going to shut the servers down, shouldn't you shut down the microtransactions for that last month? So that way you don't get caught in a bind like this. I think that's the legitimate thing to do. But instead, 2K said, nah, we'll take as much money as we can and risk it. And they played themselves because that class action lawsuit must have shook them up. And Lord knows they probably settled out. Lord knows if they did settle out, how much they had to settle out for. And all those NDAs, we ain't gonna hear nothing about it. Crazy wild, man. What up, Matt? What's going on, Matt Abbott? Take it with a grain of salt. 2K don't give a F about none of us, and the majority of the people playing don't care enough about the terms of service to stop playing the game, because MFers is not going to stop playing regardless. It's facts, Triggertown. I ain't gonna front. It's facts, but there's a lot of people who do care. The fact remains that there was a class action lawsuit. I don't know what's happened. I don't know what's come of that class action lawsuit, but that was very recent, yeah. So there's people out there who do care, and there's people there's people out there who will take action. Yeah, you know, it's so odd. I know we become accustomed to these microtransactions, but if you got your innocent kid doing something like gaming, and think about this. Let's create the setting. Let's create the setting. You got your kid, let's say 9, 10 years old, innocently playing 2K. You're at home, it's quiet and peaceful, everything is good. You're not expecting your kid to get robbed. It's the last thing you're not expecting your bank account to be losing money because your kid is making microtransactions on this game. You know, a lot of adults are ignorant to this stuff. They may be successful in their business, but they're ignorant to the predatory ways of the gaming industry. And 2K is one of those companies leading the way in their predatory ways, predatory and aggressive. So you think about that. So what I'm getting at here is I could only imagine the reaction from this parent when their kid comes to them and say, "I just put $100 on it, and they just shut down the servers the day before yesterday." And imagine you're a lawyer, and your kid's coming to you to say that. You're like, "Oh hell nah." This is because you start thinking of all the other ways that because you start thinking of the world, and you start thinking of all the other ways that companies can take advantage of kids. So you're not basically fighting 2K, you're fighting the principle. You get what I mean to say? Because you want to put this on paper, so that way people in the future can reference this. And, it's just like with anything case law. You want to create the case law for it. If you're a lawyer, it's probably being your intention to create the case law. So if there's case law on it, it's easier for other judges to judge on it. You get what I mean to say? And other lawyers could present this case law. It's so unfortunate that it's come to this point. 2K gonna try to put LeBron on the cover of 2K25 just to sell the game. We can't trust. If they did that to Kobe, you can no longer trust whoever's on the cover. It means nothing. It's like it means nothing. 2K making kids sign these terms of agreement. That's another thing. Who signs the terms of agreement? Do you have to change your game, rate it mature? And that's a great point, Hoax. Think about that, y'all. You're going to make kids sign this agreement. You're going to make kids accept this. We know there's going to be kids on the game, but the kids ain't reading no freaking agreement. These terms of service makes me not want to spend money on this game. He's speaking facts, B. You have basically zero rights. Listen, I could understand this better if, let's say, the most money you could spend on 2K is $10. Let's say you're doing 25-cent microtransactions. I could have a way better understanding of this. But the fact remains, there's the facts here. Like we just found out the other day when I posted about did that video about microtransaction stuff, that folks are spending $3,000 on 2K already, right now. $3,000. Go ahead and steal $3,000. What is it? Am I mistaken? It might be for like $4,500 for grand larceny, but there's a larceny charge there. You can't steal $3,000. That's court. That's jail time. How does 2K get away with that? And then, yeah, I don't know. They would have to, I guess, rate their game mature and have the parents sign off on, those terms of service. Do you see yourself playing 2K25 and 2K26, etc.? As for me, I'm not going to be their cash cow. No, my baby boy. Keep up the great work. Appreciate you, Ramel Carter. I would like to say, here's my true thoughts. I am no longer connected to 2K as far as in previous versions. In years past, I was mainly connected to 2K. Like, I didn't care what happened with the YouTube. I was just playing 2K. That's how the YouTube started. I played 2K all the time. And it was just like, well, let's make content on it because I invest so much of my time on it anyway. But over the years, I've come to a point where I'm no longer connected to 2K. But the common ground between me and y'all is 2K. So in order for me to connect with y'all, we got to create content about 2K. And that's going to segue into another topic of discussion that I want to get into with y'all. But what I'm getting at here is that if you guys in the YouTube platform, the algorithm and everything allowed me the opportunity to pivot my content off of 2K while still remaining successful, while still maintaining viewership, I would easily pivot and stray away from 2K because I am no longer sentimentally tied to 2K. It's just a fact. I haven't loaded up the game in 2 weeks now? And before that, I hadn't loaded it up in 2 weeks prior to that. So let's get to what Big Heck said. We have the right to modify, delete, move, remove, or suspend any virtual items at any time with or without notice to you and with no liability of any kind to you. Hold on a second. What are you reading? Are you basically waive all ownership of your account? Ooh. We may limit the total amount of virtual items that may be held for any one game or that may be held in your account in the aggregate. Are you reading? Hold on, because this is important. Did you send that to me? Can you copy and paste that into a message? If you're reading it, send it to me in a DM because that's huge. That's definitely going to help me talk some more about some stuff. Additionally, the price and availability of virtual items to purchase or acquire are subject to change. You agree that you have no ownership. I can't be a lawyer, bro. I don't have enough patience, B. Like, there's people who have like that fight or flight reflex. And even when guns were right in my face, it was never a flight reflex. In fact, even this real life stuff, a gun is right in my face and I'm calling the dude out his name. I more so have a fight reflex than a flight reflex. It's how I've always been. But I can't be a lawyer, bro. Because I read that and it says, additionally, the price and availability of virtual items to purchase or acquire are subject to change. You agree that you have no ownership or other rights in or to any virtual items or your account. Are y'all hearing this? Am I tripping? Are you? Yeah. Please don't take that with a grain of salt. Please let it sink in. It doesn't have to hit you. It doesn't have to hit home maybe as hard as it's hitting me. That's just the layers of disappointment that I have in 2K that I'm expressing right now. But this slimy way of business where they're saying when you really make that digital purchase, like when you really go for that microtransaction, you are dead seriously. They remind you that it's a virtual item. They're reminding you that it's not real. And they're reminding you also that you own nothing when you pay, even though you pay for it, you own nothing. In other words, what 2K is basically saying is that they could actually drop a digital version of the game, let everybody buy it for 1 month, and then pull it off the shelves. And you can't do nothing about it. That's what 2K is basically saying to you. They might have issues with, the consoles, but they're basically telling you nothing for you, doggy. You get nothing. Wow. Check your DM again. All right, let's see what. Yeah. It went to the virtual item section. Thank you for the link. Woo! Tomorrow's video is gonna be lit up. I swear to God, I feel like making the videos today. We have the right to modify, delete, move, remove, or suspend any virtual items at any time with or without notice to you and with no liability of any kind to you. We may limit the total amount of virtual items that may be held for any one game or may be held in your account in the aggregate. We may limit the period of time during which you may hold or use virtual items related to any particular game or other aspect of the services. Additionally, the price and availability of virtual items to purchase or acquire are subject to change. You agree that you have no ownership or other rights in or to any virtual items or your account. Wow, so much runs through my head, man. Like so much goes through my head in this particular situation. You don't own anything you pay for, and you don't even own your account, and 2K could take that, and they're going to force you guys February 28th, in case you guys don't know, February 28th, they're going to force you guys to accept these terms or you don't get to play 2K. Period. And if by chance you want to go the civil route, the legal route, it will not, due to these terms, you will not be able to have a jury trial, and you cannot start a class action lawsuit because you accept these terms coming February 28th. And by the way, you will not be able to play the game if you do not accept these new terms. Rockstar is going to destroy 2K. The older brother is going to put little brother on timeout. Well, I'm sure this is coming from Take-Two. Rockstar definitely going to destroy 2K, but things got to hit the fan, and trust me, I'm not going to let this get swept under the rug, y'all. This joint got me so heated inside, and I could easily detach. You know what I mean? I'm upset, and I display that while we're talking about it. But as soon as I shut off this live stream, I'm back to my regular life until I'm making content. You know what I mean to say? I try not to connect. In other words, don't think that this is getting the good part of me. But I hate this side of business. What up, Slim? What's good, brother? This side of business is ugly, man. If 2K, let's say, for instance, I'll give you guys a for instance. Think of your favorite game. Your favorite game could easily roll out these new terms of service. If your favorite, a game that's completely stable, a game that's fully flushed out, a game that when it's released, their player base is not guinea pigs testing it out like as if it's in beta or alpha. Think of a fully flushed out, complete game that never worries. Something like Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Never have to worry about any type of lawsuits or anything like that. You know, not from the player base, because the developers always do the player base right. They actually give them more than what they actually pay for. 2K, on the other hand, consistently gives us way less than we pay for, attempts in their slimy ways to dig into our pockets. The whole game and engine behind 2K, the engine that makes up 2K, is geared toward developing a game that persuades you in little subtle ways, psychological ways, to generate a microtransaction. And with that in mind, this is where they roll out these new terms of service, say that you don't own anything you purchase. Every single item down to the base unit sale is not yours, even though you pay for it. All these digital items, and it's unfortunate because now we're in a stage where most people are purchasing digitally as opposed to the physical copy. This is why this can't be done like this. This is exactly why. Because they're leaving the gamers know we're coming to a point in time, especially over the next 5 years, where we're not going to have no hard copies. So you're telling me what I pay for is completely irrelevant? That's absolutely insane. I don't own what I pay for. Now, I could understand if it's a live service game. I could probably have a better understanding if it's a live service game. But 2K hasn't moved to that stage, and that's what they're operating like. They're a live service. That's not the case. All right, enough venting. I'm sorry, y'all. In case you guys are new, you're just tuning in. I'm going to read you guys. I'm going to do it for the folks that are here, and I'm going to do it for the new folks that are just rolling in. In case you guys haven't heard, NBA 2K intends to roll out new terms of service coming February 28th. And you cannot play NBA 2K until you accept these new terms of service. We're going to get into it. It says here, terms of service update. Our legal terms are changing on February 28th, 2024. You must accept our new terms in order to play after February 28th, 2024. That's not all. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go to what Hex sent me. For the people that are new here, you just tuned in, please drop a sub, by the way. We're trying to get to 100K. Your subscription means a lot. This is huge, man. This is huge. I'm going to read you guys something else that's absolutely crazy. Section 6, user rules. Your use of our services includes the obligation and responsibility to help us ensure that our social and online gaming experiences are inclusive and respectful for all users and our employees and contractors. You must follow the rules in Section 6, including the code of conduct while using the services. And that's all good. These are like basic terms of service. Is probably what you guys are thinking. Terms of service is that thinking conduct. No, that's not it. Let's move on to Section 15. Mandatory arbitration. For folks that have even the slightest bit of knowledge, when you hear mandatory arbitration, you already know. You probably already like started fuming inside when 2K has you accept terms that even start with a title that says mandatory arbitration. This agreement contains a mandatory arbitration clause and a waiver of class action and jury trial rights for all users residing in the United States and any other territory other than Australia, Switzerland, the United Kingdom, or the territories of the European Economic Area. For covered users, unless you opt out via the process in Section 15, you will be bound by the arbitration agreement, which means that you and Take-Two will be required to resolve any dispute subject to limited exceptions by final and binding individual arbitration, which means you can't go to trial. There's no, I'll get my lawyer and we'll take you to court. No court. Everything has to be settled through arbitration. The arbitration clause waives your right to a jury trial and to participate in class action, collective actions, and all other types of court proceedings. You acknowledge that you understand, and unless you validly opt out, expressly agree to the mandatory arbitration clause and waive class action / jury trial waiver. Woo! Such conduct, we have the right to modify, delete, move, remove, or suspend any virtual items at any time with or without notice to you and with no liability of any kind to you. We may limit the total amount of virtual items that may be held for any one game or that may be held in your account in the aggregate. We may limit the period of time during which you may hold or use virtual items related to any particular game or other aspect of the services. Additionally, the price and availability of virtual items to purchase or acquire are subject to change. You agree that you have no ownership or other rights in or to any virtual items on your account. Woo-wee. You could tell I'm upset. When I read so clearly like that, like when I start going off and I'm reading clearly like that, I'm upset inside. When I get upset, I articulate myself way better for some strange reason. It's like it triggers something in me. But man, I could go off. Let's get to the chat. Let's see what the chat has to say. Whoo, sorry I missed a load of comments. There's a ton of people in here. I appreciate y'all tuning in. This is big news here for 2K24. You probably heard it here first. Salute to the good homie All City Big Head for sharing this with me. The new terms of service agreement is coming February 28th. All right, my name is Twan. Let's get to the chat. We're going to read off the comments in the chat. I understand them saying we can't take them to court, but us agreeing to buying the game knowing that we don't own something that we paid to acquire is beneath me. It should be beneath a lot of us. We all know there's going to be a load of 2K players that are still going to buy the game and go through my microtransactions, and I may be very well one of them. They big mad after that lawsuit. Facts, Steven. Yo, that lawsuit made them change their ways, bro. That lawsuit said, yo, We got to change some. Somebody else mentioned that a lot of companies are going with these new terms of service, but it's different when a slimy company, a slimy, predatory, aggressive company like 2K, who really takes advantage of their player base, chooses to opt in for these new terms of service. You just joined Chin Rochester. Big news, man. You might have to rewind it because I can't go through that again. My blood pressure's raising. That's my last year. So if we purchase an item and they want to remove it, we have no say. Yep. Don't get it twisted, y'all. Here, what these terms of service, just so you guys fully can grasp what's happening here. If you do not purchase a hard copy of the game, although it's highly unlikely that 2K would remove the game, what these terms of what you would be agreeing to is that if you purchase a digital version of 2K, let's say 2K25 drops, and you guys end up purchasing the digital version of that game, you do not own it. In other words, 2K could have you guys, they could just run the game for a month. They could just have this game sold for a month, make all these millions of dollars, and because of this agreement, they could pull it right off the shelves. This agreement says any digital items you do not own. There may be issues with them and PlayStation, them and Xbox, because they may not like that idea, but this terms of service agreement pretty much says anything digitally that you purchase, you don't own. People probably still buy stuff. Yeah, and I imagine we are, because, I think the reality is it's probably not going to be the case. 2K is probably not going to pull it off the shelves. You get what I mean to say? But there are scenarios which arose, which probably led to this happening. What up, y'all? What up, Javon Taylor? There was a class action lawsuit that led to this new terms of service agreement. And ironically, this new terms of service agreement is covering their behind from class action lawsuits taking place, like what had happened. And that joint must have shook them up. People probably feel like we are being backed into a corner. Yeah. And that's the arrogance that I want to kind of talk with you guys about. How arrogant is it of 2K to think that they could tell you, hey, here, buy this for $70. It ain't, like I said, it ain't like we're getting the game for $19.99. They are leading the way. They were one of the companies if not the first, one of the companies, I think they were the first, by the way, to raise their game from $59.99 to $69.99. So what I'm saying is they are like leading the way in microtransactions, the aggressive way, and how they generate these microtransactions, leading the way in increasing prices for the entire gaming industry. Surely, if they're successful at selling the game at $70, other developers are going to follow suit. And here goes 2K. It's so wild to me because it's almost clear as day that the player base is not completely satisfied with their product. And they've had a stretch of years already where now the player base is up and dipping, and we're in January. This used to be like 9 months in. What we're seeing right now used to happen like 9 to 10 months into the annual cycle. In their arrogance or ignorance, for that matter, this is when they decide to roll out these new terms of service. But I don't think they expect folks like me to sit back and explain it to the masses. Hopefully other folks can follow suit as well. Break it down in layman's. And it's not even you need to break it down in layman's. It straight tells you. The joint straight tells you, bro. Such conduct. We have the right to modify, delete, move, remove, or suspend any virtual items. That's as simple as it gets for anybody to understand. At any time, with or without notice to you, and with no liability of any kind to you. We may limit the total amount of virtual items that may be held for any one game or that may be held in your account in the aggregate. We may limit, oh my God, that is so freaking crazy. We may limit the period of time during which you may hold or use virtual items related to any particular game or other aspect of the services. Additionally, the price and availability of virtual items to purchase or acquire are subject to change. You agree that you have no, said it clear as day. You agree that you have no ownership or other rights in or to any virtual items or your account. It's right. Yo, that is just wildness, bro. Moreno said, bro, I'm not going to lie to you. We need the government to stay. Yeah, it's getting out of hand, bro. There needs to be certain regulations that protect the consumers. There needs to be regulations. Just so you know, in the most respectful way, the second you press accept, you deserve it. Don't complain about something you said yes to. Yeah. And that's why I'm bothered here. Salute to you, Ron, for sending that out. But that's why I'm bothered here, is that they're basically saying you cannot play. It ain't like you have an option to accept these services. You cannot play the game unless you accept these new terms. They're making it mandatory for you to accept these new terms. And there's a reason they're making it mandatory for you to accept these new terms. I don't believe that it's in 2K's interest. I don't even think this would probably happen, where they'll take the VC from you, where everybody wakes up and everybody's account is empty. But what I'm trying to get you guys to understand is that could happen, and you can't do anything about it when you accept these new terms of service. That's what I'm trying to get everybody to see. Maybe it may not be in the best interest of 2K, but let's give you guys a for instance. Let's say 2K has it in their mind that they're going to sell 2K without letting anybody know. Let's say they have it in their mind they want to sell. What this means is they could shut down everything tomorrow and you can't do anything about it. They'll make millions off of everything you did up until that point, and then they'll make millions off the sale. Or billions for that matter. More than likely billions. What do you own when you buy the new bikes, clothes, cards? Can you bring those home with you? Can you sell those things secondhand? This is already in effect. And it's facts. I understand. See, here's the thing. And this is where things get slimy, Dan. I think everybody understands these are virtual items when you pay for them with your virtual currency. I think they understand that these are virtual items, and you're definitely not riding the bike I don't think anybody wants to ride the bike that they give you on 2K anyway, because the joint goes 1.2 miles an hour. But here's the dilemma that I have with these new terms of service, is that they're basically telling you we can swipe it from you. I know you guys don't expect that. That's the difference when you accept these new terms of service. You see, if you paid for a bike on 2K, let's say, what is that? I don't know, 100,000 VC. Let's say you pay out 100,000 VC for a bike, and you wake up the next day and it's no longer on your account. It's no longer tied to your account. You don't see your bike that you paid for the day prior. What do you think you do next? You probably fill out a 2K support ticket, right? You find ways to how to get that back because you paid for it. So what I'm trying to get at here is you feel like you have ownership, and you know it only going to be for 2K24. That bike is not going to transfer over into 2K25. We all understand that, which shouldn't be the case, but it is. And it's understandable, and I think we all accept that. But within that current version of the game, you're expecting to have your bike. For as long as you play that game, you're expecting to have that bike there. With these new terms of service, what they're saying is we can swipe as a virtual item and you can't do anything about it. Will 2K accommodate you? I don't know what these new terms of service are going to be for like 2K support. I don't know. 2K could say F everything. Anybody who's talking about a virtual item, it don't matter. We had them sign the agreement. Let's move on. Crazy stuff, B. I don't think 2K would be doing that. I don't think so. But what's to prove me wrong? You know, when I think of things, I say, I'm such a logical and practical person. I say, well, I don't think 2K would do that. So then I look for things that could prove me wrong and say, you know, or prove me right that I don't think they would do it. I have nothing. I have no point of reference to say 2K wouldn't do something like that. In fact, I have more points of reference that say they would take the slimy approach. I don't know why with 2K flat out on Front Street trying to make people miserable and mad. I wonder their game plan and all of this. I guess they like give it up or buy or keep your mouth shut. Yeah, that's what they're saying. He said this feels like extortion. Rest assured, I don't, like I said a second ago, rest easy. We all know 2K slimy as hell. I don't think it's in their interest to just, they're not, I don't think they're doing this to take complete advantage of you guys in the sense like they have a game plan set in motion to have you guys pay for virtual items just to take them away from you. I don't think that's the game plan. But the idea that they're seeing straight out, even within the current iteration, whatever you paid for, you do not own, and we are not liable if we remove them. And what irks me about 2K, like the good homie Shoot Everyone had just mentioned, what irks me about 2K is to raise one attribute, you're paying over 100,000 VC, which he showcased in one of his videos. That came to $30. So we're no longer paying small amounts of money. We're no longer paying chump change for a skin. These things are going into hundreds of dollars and now even thousands of dollars that each user is spending on 2K. And what I'm getting at here is that now 2K could steal that virtual item right for you, where if you steal anything worth the amount of money that people pay, IRL, it will be a larceny charge, or for that matter, a grand larceny charge. But 2K, because you guys accept these new terms coming February 28th, they're telling you guys outright, you no longer will own anything. Even the base unit game. You don't own that, bro. And they could pull that right from your shelf, right from your dashboard. They could pull that joint. Not that they would, but they could, and they're not liable for it. You get no money back. Crazy, bro. James Williams said, I appreciate you, Ramel. Hey, y'all, City, they took it down off the home screen. I just turned the game. Hold on, what the hell me saying? Did I just miss it? He must be editing. The reason the problem with 2K is because the money you put in the game helps give you an advantage over other players. Not all games are like that. You know what? I got to make some coffee and we talk about this some more. Let me finish this protein shake. I got to make some coffee, bro. Somebody get me white Mike Wang or White Mang. Somebody get me White Mang here. Somebody get Ronnie 2K. We need answers, Pookie. I'll be back. I'm making coffee. Woo-wee. That's got to be some of the craziest stuff I have heard from 2K, man. Man, oh man. More and more people catch wind of this. Yeah, this is worthy of a heavy discussion. I think I don't know who's gonna put it out there. I might just chop up this live stream. I should have been hitting like record on all this stuff. You're starting to get Aiden Ross vibes. What snatches? Starting to get Aiden Ross vibes. Sad Kobe year would probably be the death of 2K. Yeah, facts. I'm actually trying to sue them myself and say that 2K is trying to make us agree to their terms of service after we already paid for the game. That's interesting. That's interesting as well. Ironically, you may have a point there. It's crazy, but you may have a legitimate point there. That there's a lot of people who may not want to agree to these new terms of service, and they're out some money. And before signing this agreement, might be a good time to pursue any type of lawsuit that you have in mind for 2K. I mean, a lot of people don't sue for $70. But if you get a good majority of the people to feel the same way, you may have a class action as well. People got to accept if there's no turning back, this company will never have integrity. Surely they don't, man. Who said that? Jojo. Yep. No other company will pull this because most times skill is involved to be the best or be good. Imagine Fortnite characters has stats that determine the outcome more than skill. That's 2K right now, is what the homie said. I wonder how Twitter is going to be later when more and more people see your vid and others, I'm sure. Yeah, I think I got to make a video on this, y'all. I think I was thinking that, you know what? I think I'm going to make a video with y'all. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to hit record right now. Should I try this? This will be the first time. Let me get my coffee and I'll think about it for a second. I might try to make the video like right now, and we'll use this recording to upload to YouTube and get the word out. I'm sure this will be something new for y'all. Ever see a creator make I know a lot of people make their live stream first and they just chop it up, but I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna make a video right now with y'all in the live stream. So, leave informative comments on the screen, because what you guys see on screen is actually what will be recorded. So let me move this down. Let me get in position. Let's do it, Kochi. This is a brand new thing for me, y'all, but it's important. And make sure that I got everything I need. That's the update. And I'm going to pull up. You guys are going to see how I do these joints. And I'm so hyped about this one. I should probably be able to wing it. Like one take Joe. I need to save the other. Well, I could probably just pull it up. I could probably screenshot that from Heck. Yeah. Crazy that kids have to click on I agree and don't understand what they're agreeing to. Big facts. And that's what I want to get into as well. All right, so here's what we're going to do, y'all, because I'm going to make the video right now while we're on here. And then I'm going to immediately, after making the key points and reading everything I've read off so far in this live stream, what I'm going to do is reference the chat. And I'm hoping to get questions like that so we could incorporate this into the video. I've been trying to find new ways to incorporate the people that like to watch into our videos. I think this would be a good option. I'm also going to use our Discord so that way you guys' voice could actually be heard. We're going to hold stage calls, and we'll invite certain people on stage to share their thoughts about particular topics. I think this is a good one to start that off with as well. But we're going to do this right now, y'all. So let me get into it. Remember, the comments that you guys are posting are going to be on the video. So keep that in mind. And after I finish going through this whole dialogue with explaining everything that I just explained, I will reference you guys about what you think, and I will read off the comments from the chat. Let's make it happen, man. You guys are now content creators. All right, let me pull this up. Am I ready for this? One take, Joe. He said the youngins, the newbies and youngins don't stand it. Hey, what's good, y'all? All right, so you guys see that we're on live stream, and I decided that we're gonna go and straight tell you guys what's going on with 2K right now during this live stream. The live chat is in here. Salute to y'all. But what's going on is that 2K is gonna have every 2K player sign a new TOS. You guys are gonna have to go through new terms of service agreement, and you have to accept these new terms. Otherwise, you cannot play 2K. I'm going to pull up the image right now, and you guys are going to see it says Terms of Service Update. Our legal terms are changing on February 28th, 2024. You must accept our new terms in order to play after February 28th, 2024. Again, salute to the live stream chat. Appreciate y'all being here. This is an upload that I'm gonna have uploaded on YouTube. You guys are just seeing during the live stream portion. I decided, you know what, I gotta make a video, but I didn't want to lose touch with the live, so let me just go ahead and make the video while I'm live streaming. I'm gonna read you guys something that the good homie All City Big Hex just sent me, because there's speculation that these new terms of service have to do, the new terms of service that they're going to force every single 2K player to accept. It seems that these new terms of service have to do with a recent class action lawsuit that somebody held against 2K, and that must have really shook 2K up. There's these two images that All City Big Hex sent me, and I'm going to read off a couple of them. In this first portion is something that we're used to with like terms of service agreements. It says user rules. Your use of the services includes the obligation and responsibility to help us ensure that our social and online gaming experiences are inclusive and respectful for all users, our employees, and contractors. You must follow the rules in Section 6, including the code of conduct while using the services. And I think those are terms of service that a lot of you guys are familiar with. Now, here's where things get kind of sketchy, y'all. Section 15 starts out with the title Mandatory Arbitration. And I need you guys to really hear me out here. It says here, this agreement contains a mandatory arbitration clause and a waiver of class action and jury trial rights for all users residing in the United States and any other territory other than Australia, Switzerland, the United Kingdom, or the territories of the European Economic Area. For covered users, unless you opt out via the process in Section 15, you will be bound by the arbitration agreement, which means that you and Take-Two will be required to resolve any dispute subject to the limited expectations. By final binding individual arbitration clause waives your right to jury trial and to participate in any type of class action lawsuit, collective actions, and all other types of court proceedings. You acknowledge that you understand and unless validly opt out, expressly agree to the mandatory arbitration clause and class action jury trial waiver. That's not all. Let me make sure I'm recording. I am recording. Let's get back to it. Another snippet that the good homie All City Big Heck just sent me. We'll read it verbatim. We have the right to modify, delete, move, remove, or suspend any virtual items at any time with or without notice to you and with no liability of any kind to you. We may limit the total amount of virtual items that may be held for any one game or that may be held in your account in the aggregate. We may limit the period of time during which you may hold or use virtual items related to any particular game or other aspect of the services. Additionally, the price and availability of virtual items to purchase or acquire are subject to change. You agree that you guys have no ownership or other rights in or to any virtual items on, and it says, or your account. You guys do not own your account. You guys do not own any virtual items. There's no liability on 2K. If you buy these virtual items, 2K don't owe you nothing. In other words, 2K can actually swipe these virtual items. And when you accept these new terms of service agreements on February 28th, they're telling you that they could swipe this right from your account and you already accepted the fact that you don't own them. They are not yours. It's all an illusion. Now, if another company did this that had a lot of integrity, I know nobody would be stressing it. They purchased the game, they know what they're getting. Unfortunately, a lot of 2K players have no idea whatsoever what they're going to receive, because whatever 2K tells them that they're going to receive prior to the release is something totally different when they get their hands on the game. So this lack of integrity from 2K, a company that has these predatory, aggressive ways to pursuing microtransactions, this same company is telling you guys, we own everything, even though you pay for it. It's not yours, Brody. I'll give you guys a perfect instance. That base unit sale, if you purchased it digitally, you do not own that, bro. That's not yours. Although I think this is highly unlikely, I don't see 2K wanting to remove 2K from your dashboard. When you sign these new terms of service agreements, that's exactly what they can do, and they're no longer liable for it. I gave the analogy just a second ago. Let's say, because somebody had mentioned, if you purchase a bike as a virtual item, you don't really own it. We know this. I get that, bro. But you're expecting to have that virtual item for the longevity or period of time that you're playing that iteration of 2K. What this new agreement is saying is that they can swipe that new bike that you paid 150K VC for. They can swipe that joint right off of your account, and you can't do nothing about it. Prior to this new terms of service agreement, in previous versions of 2K, you could submit a support ticket. You may very well be able to do that in future 2Ks, even with this new terms of service agreement. But that doesn't mean there's an obligation on 2K's behalf to fulfill that 2K support ticket. They're not liable, and that's exactly what this new terms of service agreement is saying. Hopefully this resonates with a lot of you guys. Let's get back to the live stream. I know that was a lot to take in. The live stream got their first glimpse of me creating a video like right off rip. So you guys see what I'm doing here when I'm by myself and I'm creating videos. I'm going to use this recording, and this live stream recording, because I recorded it while I was live streaming. I just hit record. We're going to use this, and we're going to put this right into an upload. So salute to y'all. Let's get to the chat. What do you guys got to say? I already made the chat known well in advance that this was going to go down like this. So hopefully they got some good things to say. He said, Jordy and Bree said, this is crazy. A game I grew up playing is done for, and it being their own fault is even more crazy. Now the public views 2K as the enemy. Also, us being a social media era, very alarming. It is alarming, and I share the same exact sentiment. You want to know why? Because I grew up playing 2K as well. From the very first iteration of 2K on Dreamcast, I remember being just super excited that we're in this new era of gaming. Oh my God, Lord knows, only the Lord knew that we were going to end up like this, because I had no idea 2K was going to go this route. They are trying to make us sign a contract under duress. They're trying to say, pay us, agree to our new terms. And by the way, if you don't agree to these terms, you guys are not going to be able to play 2K. They're trying to say, pay us, agree to our new terms of service, or you can't play the game. Play the game that you already paid for, by the way. That was an absolutely great point. You guys already paid for 2K24. It's already on your dashboard. How dare 2K generate these new terms of service and tell you guys that they relinquish all liability now, even though you already paid for the game under the old terms of service agreement. Pretty wild, man. And like I mentioned earlier, this may be an option for folks to pursue a class action lawsuit before signing these new terms of service agreement. You didn't sign it just yet. So the only thing that you're accountable for is for the terms of service agreement that you signed up for and accepted when you bought 2K24. This new thing coming mid-year, that should not have happened. If anything, it should have happened on the release of 2K25. But I'm telling you, that class action lawsuit that took place in California, that must have shook up 2K to the point that they have the entire community, they have the entire player base signing a new terms of service agreement. Absolutely insane. The season rewards are irrelevant. Yeah, they are. Stretch Pig said, I wonder if this also means that 2K will lay off some of the 2K support employees in an effort to continue to make more money and not have to pay as many people. Man, Do you see how easy, when folks understand 2K language, you see how easy it is to see like the possibilities of why something like this may have come about? Now, if you didn't know about the lawsuit, then maybe you'd be lost here. But I reported on the lawsuit about a month ago, and it obviously rattled their cages, because here we are. It hit them so hard. And if you guys don't know what happened, what supposedly happened is that 2K ended up shutting down one of their older servers, and there was this young kid in California who had money invested in that older game. He was playing the game, and he went up to his mom's and told his mom's the whole story, how they shut down the server and he lost everything. The mom said, "Oh, hell to the nah, nah, nah." Took him to court, set up a class action lawsuit, and I don't know what happened from there. Now they're telling you guys are going to have to go through arbitration. You're waiving your right. When you accept these new terms of services, you're waiving your right to create or generate a class action lawsuit. You can't gather people. You can't gather a collective of folks who are experiencing the same thing as you and go take 2K to court. Those days are gone. You waived that right with these new TOS, new terms of service agreements. So interesting stuff, man. 2K getting greedier and greedier. Gas and said 2K is getting greedier and greedier every year. Julia said, "That's insane. I want my money for the game and the 300 plus in VC I spent. Give it back, Pookie. 2K you owe, Pookie. Crazy. If I don't sign this, I can't even go back to 23. Am I wrong about that? I'm not absolutely sure if this applies to older versions of 2K. That's actually a good question, Lucky Spumoni. I don't know if that's going to be the case. I imagine that when you sign these new terms of service agreements, it's based off your account. So anytime you're logging into 2K, no matter which version of the game you're getting on, it applies. That's what I imagine is the case. Old Man Beginner in the building says, "So you're paying real money for something that you really don't own now." And this is where it gets crazy, Old Man Beginner, because we all know, like, I don't want to be naive here. Like, we understand. I want to let the viewers know that we understand these are virtual items, but we're expecting those virtual items to be tied to our account for the iteration of 2K that we're playing. With this new terms of service agreement, what 2K is basically saying is that, nah, bro, we could pull that right from your account and you have no say so. And then when you think of how petty one of the biggest representatives of 2K, Ronnie 2K, like the face of 2K, how petty a person he is, where he'll like ban people for no reason. He just acts real petty. And if you guys don't recall, I'll remind you guys when he didn't like, what was the homie, DeMarcus Cousins? He didn't like something that DeMarcus Cousins had said, and he thought his mic was off, so he straight called them a dick. Like, he straight said it, and then he just didn't know. He had to apologize later. But these are the type, they're not professionals, is what I'm trying to say here. It ain't like they're constant professionals that we're dealing with here. This is the face, the person who represents 2K. Goofy Ronnie. So you could only imagine how many folks, listen, how many of you, I'll give you guys a for instance, because it's happened this year. How many times have you lost all your 2K sneakers that cost 10,000 V, your custom shoes, 10,000 VC each? How many times have you lost that? How many times have you lost all your tattoos? And for those who don't really fully understand, if you're not a 2K player, you're like, I can't really understand. What does that mean? 10,000 VC is a lot for a custom pair of sneakers. And you spend about 100,000 VC to get your tattoo game up to par. So right off rip, that's easily what, $30, $40, right off rip, down the drain. And most people were putting in 2K support tickets. Well, now we don't even know if 2K support will even cover these options with these new terms of service agreements. Look at that, multiple times. The homie said, King Gavin said every year. Gaston said multiple times. Harris Somi said that's where the disconnect is. It's like spend money to keep it up. Again, I had mentioned this earlier. It'd be very different if we were dealing with a company with a high amount of integrity. But 2K has proven the complete opposite, at least for me. That's me. That's only solely my opinion. I'm a 2K content creator, so I've been able to see the opinions of many, many, many other folks. And ironically, they feel very similar to me. 2K got to get their game together. I don't think it's in 2K's best interest at this point in 2K history, where, you know, the player base, they're losing their core player base. Now they got this revolving door of just brand new players in and out. Nobody's really stuck on 2K anymore like they used to be back in the day. Folks are just fed up. And it's at this moment when they pushed us in, like, we're like right at the cliff. It's at this moment that 2K said, oh yeah, by the way, sign this. You don't own none of that. When you jump off that cliff, we'll take everything back. Also, what's even crazier, like the homie mentioned earlier, you're signing this agreement mid-year after you already purchased the game under the old agreement, where it was pretty much code of conduct. And now you're signing this new agreement, pretty much saying 2K could take it all away from you. You own nothing. You don't even own your account. And we're not going to be liable for it. And furthermore, if you choose to take the civil route, the furthest you can go is settling out of court. This will never go this will never go like to a jury. There will never be case law on this. This is why 2K is doing this. So there's no case law on it. There will never be case law on it. Absolutely insane. The only way that you can reap any type of benefit for pursuing some sort of civil action against 2K is through arbitration. And through arbitration with 2K's money, you barely stand a chance, bro. That's what they're banking on. It's like Debo saying, what, B? What you want to make? What you want to happen? Through arbitration, you're playing on their terms. They settle out of court. They got the money to settle out. I'm sure they got the finances to settle out, but you think that's going in your favor, bro? Man, it's wild. Let's get to the chat. So you're saying other games force you to pay to win? What games exactly? Especially ones as big as 2K. That's why it's a problem. Pay $70, then pay more inside the game. It's insane. And that's what I was getting at. It's like this is not chump change we're talking about. How does 2K get the player base to sign an agreement saying that whatever you pay for is ours, not yours? That's what the agreement says. They rob you. They could rob you blind and you can't do nothing about it. I'm not saying this speculation. I'm not saying that's what would happen. I don't think it's in 2K's best interest to outright take everything from their player base. But with this new terms of service agreement, what you're signing basically says they can. You don't even own your account, Brody. You don't own the digital version of the game. You don't own anything in the game. Your virtual currency could be wiped out. 2K is not liable. And if you want to take them to court, you're going through arbitration because you waived the right to a jury trial or any sort of class action lawsuit just by hitting accept on this new terms of service agreement that's coming to NBA 2K24 February 28th. Salute to y'all. Salute to the live stream, man. I'm going to stop the recording here. We'll continue on with the live stream, but I'm going to stop the recording here. For the folks that are watching via the upload, wishing y'all all a safe and blessed rest of your night, man. I'll catch you guys either on the next video or live stream. Easy, y'all. Woo, that was fire, y'all. That was fire. Love it. Rise to the occasion. That was fun, man. It was fun doing the video with y'all in it. I ain't gonna front. You're the best, All City. Always watching out for the community. Shout out to All City, Big Head, keeping us informed. Appreciate you, old man beginner. You already know the vibes. Bambo, I gotta get you a mod, Bambo. Hold on, let me get Bambo a mod in here. Add as a moderator, standard. Any other familiar face I'll add as a mod too. I'm feeling good today, man. Salute to y'all. Woo, that was fun. That means I got my video ready. Everything is done. Oh man, beautiful thing. All City is the Brooklyn Bridge. All City is the Brooklyn Bridge a good start for Park? Hell yeah. I'll tell you one thing. Hold on a second. Hold on, because All right, so the Brooklyn Bridge, there's like Smith projects right there, but it's more skaters, like skateboard type there. I would recommend. I think the Brooklyn Bridge is probably, people will recognize that more. But if you needed a frame of reference, I would say the Willie B. Like the Willie B is where I grew up, and that's like projects, and we balled. Like everybody, there's bowling. That was part of the culture. It was bowling all day, every day. I always had a basketball in my hand. So I think the projects more towards South Street Seaport, more towards the Brooklyn Bridge, it wasn't the same. And I can't think of. There was a court. There was a court. I can't. There was a court there, but oftentimes it was empty. I think where the bowling happens more like where the Williamsburg Bridge was. Just so you know. But I think people would like to see something like that. Was not expecting that. Great vid though. Said appreciate y'all. Coach Z, excuse me, Coach Z with a $10 super chat, bro. Is this really because of the lawsuit, or did these scammers already have these TOS ready, knowing they was offering pay season passes and skips? Well, let's put it in perspective, Coach Z. I imagine it is because of the lawsuit. Because if they had any intention of releasing this, they would have made sure to do that prior to the release of 2K24. The lawsuit happened after the release of 2K24, and here we are. So if I was to take my best guess would be it's because of the lawsuit over when you said TOS ready, knowing that they offering pay. Oh yeah, because they already knew they was gonna have pay seasons. You get what I'm saying? They were marketing that, and it would have been easy for them to get their lawyer to come up with a new terms of service agreement. It just wasn't on their radar. It seems it wasn't on their radar, because that's work that they don't have to worry about. Like the development team don't have to worry about the terms of service agreement. They send that to a lawyer, and they come up with that. Stephen Jones said, I'm from Brooklyn, Crown Heights. That's what's up. 2K Players Union, let's negotiate. We could start a new thing, B. It's things like this that create movements, bro. It's just a matter of how passionate you actually are to follow it through. To me, this is really unacceptable, yeah. It's really unacceptable. EA and any other company willing should take advantage. Man, I wish 2K would really see this video and reconsider what they're doing to their player base. You really are. Thank you, ICJ. I appreciate that. Salute to ICJ. ICJ is another one that needs a mom, matter of fact. He's been coming here often. Excuse me. ICJ. I appreciate y'all, man. There's one more thing that I want to talk about. This one, I don't even know if it's worth it, but it's definitely something I want to talk about. And I think this is a perfect segue, because I think a lot of people, you guys that are new, you're getting to know me, and maybe my facial expressions or something, maybe the way in which I present myself presents something different to you guys than what I actually am. There's a reason why I'm saying that, which I'm going to bring it up right now. Give me a second. So as you guys know, yesterday these live streams where we're playing different games, they've been way more successful than I could have even imagined, by the way. So I truly appreciate the following we've developed here, and how you guys will, hang around, even if I'm not talking about 2K. The same with my fitness journey. It's been amazing. If I go through transitions in life and I could share some of what I go through, maybe we understand, we learn about each other, that we have common ground. You get what I'm saying? So I think it's important as a creator for you guys to get I won't, trust me, you guys are not getting my social security or credit card numbers, but we should develop a certain level of closeness, and you should learn certain things about me along the way. So, here and there, I've been creating different content, going live with a different game, because 2K is not the most popular game right now, right? Like 2K is not the most popular thing out right now. So especially in regards to content creators, it's highly likely that they may pivot their channel. ATLJ, appreciate that, man. 1999 super chat. Just showing love, homie. Appreciate the content. See, man, you guys are making me blush. It's so wild. It's so wild. So it's so dope because as I'm trying to explain these, this the homie since a 1999 super chat showing the utmost support. But let me explain why I'm even bringing this up. Just to show you the heart and the energy from some folks that watch me so closely. Like, for those that know, I'm from New York. So your envy for me means nothing to me. That's how we move. That's how we move, bro. We're always gonna be fresh. We're always gonna smile while we knocking somebody out. That's just our nature, bro. That's just how we are. And I'm not just your regular New Yorker. And I'm not thugged out neither. But I've seen it all. Neither here nor there. But to help put this in perspective, I want you guys to see what somebody had left a comment. And I'm reaching out to you guys to see if I should listen to this guy. Under my last video, this dude here, Army Biz, says, "This is what we doing now. Might seriously unsubscribe." In today's video, I talked about the AI. I talked about folks not wanting to play defense. I shared some feedback from Black Cobra. It was just a good video. And I also shared what Aiden Ross had to say about Ronnie 2K and how he said on site he'll snatch Ronnie 2K's chain. That's the video I posted today. This is the comment. This is one of the comments. So he left that up top. He said, "Might seriously have to unsubscribe." And then under that left another comment saying, "And honestly, no one really cares about your other games or fitness, health journey, or diet. I'm tuning in for 2K material, shaking my head, LMAO." Is it not okay for a content creator to want to expand the content that he creates? As you guys know that I explained yesterday, I said, listen, I'm going to still do the 2K videos and still do a 2K live stream like we've been doing. But I'm going to add on to that, which is what we did yesterday. We added another live stream of different gameplay. It was dope. The dude's so idiotic that he didn't even realize that what he's saying here is he's showing how closely he watches me, because he knows about the other games we play. He also knows about the fitness health journey, and he knows about the new diet changes. So he's probably in the stream right now. That's how weird these lames are. Straight psychopaths out there, B. I'm not knocking him for having an opinion, and I truly respect the fact that a lot of the viewers that come to this channel come here for 2K content. But I live stream daily to hopefully develop a relationship with you guys. So that way in case I do consider making different content, we'll have a following. Hey, Air Mitch, I appreciate the $5 super chat. He said, "Keep doing you, All City Live. Army Biz is a 2K double agent." I think some folks, some idiots out there, like this dude Army Biz, I think some folks think that their comments hold more. Luckily, I'm a strong enough dude. Luckily. Because I got to tell you, I am in a tough spot right now as a 2K creator, where 2K is not popular, so viewership starts going down. And as a creator, you want to maintain that viewership. And we have a goal to hit 100K here on the channel. So it's important that I maintain the viewership, but also I want to do something that I'm enthusiastic about and I enjoy. I don't necessarily want to keep banging my head on the wall playing 2K, because I fully don't enjoy that game. And then you have an idiot like this. And luckily I'm strong enough, but I think of the other folks who aren't strong enough. I think of the other folks who are discouraged, who would get heavily discouraged by a comment like that. And because this man's life obviously has to be shit, like his life has to be terrible for him to randomly just put this type of energy in the world. I don't know this dude from a hole in the wall. But he's so hateful that he wanna and try to crush people's dreams. And that's unfortunate, man. Luckily, I have a mind that, I could let some of this stuff pass and not even think twice about it. I'd rather pay attention to the constant supporters that are here and been here for a long time than idiots like this that try to bring you down. And hopefully some of the other folks that are watching this, and if they're considering pursuing content creation, you're gonna get this. It comes with the territory. But sometimes you don't expect it to be like this hateful. You just don't expect it to be like that. It's so unnecessary on top of that. So I wanted to get you guys feedback on that. Infamous DMC $5 Super Chat said, 1, expand. Don't let a comment stop the growth. 2, with the state of 2K, it's a good time to explore all avenues. I appreciate that. Who said that? Infamous DMC, appreciate that. Jim Blicky said, official said, Thick Skin City, you're giving him what he wants, your attention. He's really in love with you, B. Yeah, facts. This is why I said this, y'all. You see, hear me out here. Because oftentimes I don't respond to negativity, and I haven't in years. I don't do that often. You don't see me responding to negative comments. I just let it play out. I leave it on there and let the chat get them. But I thought this was like a learning thing. And I'm going to help give you guys some perspective, because Joey 2K, the good homie Joey 2K, just sent out a tweet the other day, which I covered, saying he was considering the idea of pivoting his content. Ironically, I was on the same page as him, considering the idea of pivoting my content because of, the current state of 2K. And what I'm getting at is that there's a lot of creators who feel like this. So I thought this was a good teachable moment. And I don't think it serves in his best interests, because now the man probably can't come around here no more. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, it's unfortunate. He wanted to publicly attempt to like kill somebody's move before they even make it. So I figured we'll give that same type of energy. Let's give his take to the public and see what it really is. Because what if I was a weaker person? I have to be unhappy because an idiot like this is unhappy and he's trying to share that energy. Good energy is contagious, B. That negative energy, you could take that and shove it up your ass, go take it somewhere, and don't come back around here. Don't work like that. Luckily, I grew up different, but some idiots out there, they probably don't know any better. They don't know any better. So they think that words like this might affect someone like me. I'll tell you one thing, in case any of you guys, want to know something about me, is comments like that not from perfect strangers. I mean, it just brushes right off my shoulder from perfect strangers to a certain extent. I'm more so thinking about principle, why I made it a bigger issue than it needed to be. Because I'm thinking of everybody else that may have thinner skin and may not be able to withstand a comment like that. But it's comments like this and people like this have always been my driving force. Unfortunately, I wish I was enough of a driving force for me, but it's people like this that have always served as my driving force, man. I said, what you gonna tell me I can't do, bro? Tell me again what you finna tell me I can't do. Tell me again what you think nobody cares about. And before you know it, I end up flipping everything on its head. It's just always been my nature, y'all. Always. So hopefully something like this will encourage somebody else. I'm glad that you guys were able to just hear me out on that stuff. It's unfortunate that people feel like that and they try to box you in. But nah, B. I always spread my wings, bro. It's not going down, Brody. Salute to y'all, man. We on it. He said 2K bribed them. Bike and another hot dog hat. Yeah, he got the glizzy hat for sure. Where we at? We an hour and a half in. I might put Blacktop online for Rucker basketball court in it. That'd be super dope, fear God. He said, we not getting younger. Expand, All City. BU all day. Salute to y'all, man. Truly appreciate y'all. Super dope stream. We did a lot this stream. Hella creative. We actually recorded a video on the live stream. This was the first time. It's the first time for everything. And y'all join the Discord because what I want to do is incorporate our Discord community into the live streams. So I want them to be a part of live streams and videos, things like that. But we're going to start it with live streams. And I had every intention to make that happen today. Maybe we'll have another live stream today. Maybe we'll have another one. And again, join the Discord, type !Discord. And what we're going to do is in our Discord, they have something called a stage. And if you guys ever use Clubhouse or Twitter Spaces, it's something along those lines. And we could invite people on stage, and there's a chat there. And if you say something interesting in the chat, similar to how I'm reading this chat, I could say, hey, Agent Q, come up on stage, raise your hand. And then I'll bring him up on stage and he'll kind of speak his piece. But everybody that's watching could hear what they're saying. And that's I think it's important, man. I don't think it's my voice alone, because, you know, oftentimes a lot of you guys inspire the videos that I make simply by what I'm reading in these comments. And I think it's really important for you guys to actually be heard if you care, if you care to speak your mind. I don't want to put any pressure on it. There's no obligation here. But if you care to speak your mind and you want to be heard, we're going to give you guys that opportunity through our Discord. And what we're going to do is live stream here, and through the Discord, they'll, everybody watching will be able to hear your voices and hear everybody that's on stage. With that said, man, I'm wishing you guys a safe and blessed rest of your evening. We might start up another live stream with this Discord thing, or we may do it tomorrow. I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen just yet. Right now, I'm going to upload that video, and we'll see what goes on from there. Hopefully, you guys have a good start to your weekend. Easy, y'all. Appreciate everything y'all do. Later.